What's up, everybody? I hope all is well through these challenging times with COVID-19. But it's Nizaire Cromartie, Navy football's co-team captain from Greensboro, North Carolina. I was raised with two beautiful parents, but in separate households. And those were, some of the small challenges growing up, but, I didn't really notice them because it happened so early on at a young age. But bouncing around from house to house was kind of a challenging factor, but it made me who I am today, and I don't regret it. Got to see my parents in both beautiful lights at all times, so that's me. I also went to, Dudley High School, one of the most predominant black high schools in Guilford County, the county I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina, which was a great experience. What am I doing now? Currently, right now, since COVID-19 is going on, we left spring break, did a little spring break trip, and then we got the news that we couldn't come back to school, which for a lot of us was a kind of a relief, but at the same time, for us seniors, it was kind of sad, just kind of seeing that the fact that the time that we had with our friends was coming shorter and shorter, and now that the COVID-19 that kind of stepped in the way, it was going to be even shorter. But we take advantage of the opportunities that we have when it comes to Google Hangouts, FaceTime, Snapchat group chats, all stuff like that. Just anything in general, just to keep up with each other and make sure everybody's good to go. But currently, right now, I'm at my sister's place in Raleigh, North Carolina. Where do I see myself in 20 years? Well, 20 years, I'll be 44. In 20 years, I really expect myself to be in a nice little house with a little team of kids of mine, hopefully maybe 3 or 4, and a wife, living happily ever after, like the stories go in the movies. Career-wise, maybe like player development somewhere on a college team or an NFL team, whatever comes my way. Definitely want to stay in the football lanes of things. Because I think football was just one of the greatest opportunities for me to learn how to be a man, grow up just in general, but I definitely would love to be in some type of player development role when it comes to football later on down the line. The moment that I chose grit over quit, one moment that really sticks out in my head right now is definitely the transition into senior high school, going into a Naval Academy preparatory school. The biggest challenge that I could just say I really wanted to quit was when I got to the Naval Academy Preparatory School. I really didn't have any developed skills when it came to studying. And studying was one of the biggest things that you really need to, take serious, that many people don't. Learning how to study was one of my biggest cons when it came to school, because in high school, a lot of things were kind of given, I'm not gonna lie. I ended up having a .8 GPA for my first semester at the Naval Academy Preparatory School. And quite honestly, I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. I wanted to leave. I was going to say, forget football, forget it all. I was going to probably try to go to an in-state school and stay home, stay close to home. And I kept calling my parents, kept calling my dad, my mom, complaining to them like, man, this isn't for me, basically victimizing myself and not really seeing that I was the problem. I wasn't giving my all into certain situations where I had more time for academics, and I could have just, grinded through those things. Instead, I wanted to be on the computer. So at that moment, it was like kind of putting my hands by my parents. They were like, well, we support you, whatever you do. It's up to you. But we want you to understand that you will be missing out on a great opportunity. And that's all I really needed to hear. But it really was, they put it in my hands. I could have left if I wanted to. So I think one of the biggest things was definitely, sticking to it and putting my head in my books and actually starting to study a lot more. I think that was probably one of the biggest things where I had to choose whether I was going to quit or not, because in all honesty, that would have been a whole completely different lifestyle that I have right now, and who knows what it would have been if I just let that go. There's so many people in my life that I feel like have influenced me in many positive ways, but parents to me always stand out first. My mom is probably one of the biggest ones. Throughout my career in high school and throughout my career in the Naval Academy Preparatory School and throughout my career at the actual academy, there's been some struggles that, have gone on back home. My mom's been evicted twice in basically my collegiate career, and just having to deal with the fact that I couldn't truly help her financially and physically to be able to move those things out of her place were two, big gut-wrenching things that, I had to deal with knowing that I was at school where things were being paid for and I didn't really have any financial stresses, and she had to deal with those things on her own. It was very bothersome, but to know that she's where she is today, having 2 jobs and basically busting her butt to make ends meet just makes me more influenced to do better in life in general. If I could describe myself in 2 words, it would have to be determined and driven. And I just want to thank you guys again for your time. I know I probably went over the time limit for my video, but just want you guys to know that I'm thinking about you guys, praying for you guys, and hoping that, your families are doing okay. I know these times are getting really challenging with this COVID-19, especially with something like a virus that you can't really see physically. But just be safe. Make sure you're washing your hands, doing all you can do, making sure you keep your distance, social distancing, but still being social at the same time. Don't eliminate your friends because of the virus, but make sure you're checking on them. You can be that rock for somebody when they need it. And just thank you guys.